So what if I told you that your memories could be rewritten? Your identity can be stripped and your will can be broken. And this was all done legally, secretly, by our own government. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This was absolutely real, and it was called MK Ultra. So let's rip the veil off of this. Let's talk about it. In the 1950s, the CIA launched a classified operation to master total psychological control. This was not about persuasion. This was about erasing a soul and reprogramming what was left. So the goal was to create puppets, people who could be triggered to act, to kill, to confess, to forget, people who wouldn't know what was real or what had been planted in them. They used LSD, fractured the mind, electroshock far beyond medical limits to shatter the resistance, hypnosis, rewrote memories, and torture to make people forget who they were. And they did not ask for permission. They took people, vulnerable people, prisoners, children, mental patients, soldiers. Did you hear me say children as young as 2? People who could be discarded without questions, people who could go missing and not a lot be done about it. Some were left catatonic, some committed suicide, or so, that's the stories, and then some disappeared. And some are trying to piece themselves back together. That's the victim testimonies that you can find online. The lead scientist, Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, he was the black sorcerer behind it all. That's what he was called. He ran brothels and safe houses where victims were dosed without knowing. Some were filmed, all were used, and many were blackmailed. Mind control wasn't the only goal. It was just about total control, right? Just period. One victim, his name was Frank Olson. He was a CIA employee, and they dosed him. He became unstable, and shortly after, he fell from a hotel window. Now there's suggestions that he was pushed and that it was covered up. But that's just one story. There were tons. MK Ultra ran through over 80 institutions, universities, hospitals, prisons, even some churches, and it spanned decades. And then, when the risk of exposure came, they destroyed all the files. That was 1973. They destroyed what they thought was all the files. Everything we know comes from what they missed. So there's declassified documents. You can find these online. Whistleblower confessions and survivor testimonies that all match up. This was not a rogue experiment. It was a fucking blueprint. So you really have to ask yourself, if this happened behind closed doors for over 20 years, what the hell's happening now with modern tech, social media, pharmaceuticals, AI? What we call reality has been curated, it's been controlled, and it's been manipulated. And if they could reprogram a person, do not think they cannot reprogram an entire society. MK Ultra did not end, it evolved. Yeah, it evolved. It's still here. Watch our next video as we go deeper and darker into the shadow program that followed, Project Monarch.